doing to their basketball team. Coming up, I'll also defend myself after the vicious attacks by Baker and Mayfield and OBJ on Twitter on me yesterday. It was a very discouraging, Shannon and Skip. I'll defend myself. I believe I do have a right to do that.
Okay. Looking forward to hearing that, Colin. Thank you. Time for our final topic of the day. The Bucks are favored by 6.5 points tonight and can go up 2-0 against the Raptors. The Greek Freak a 24-14 in Game 1 win. Kawhi scored 31, but he didn't make a shot in the fourth quarter. Shannon, what is the score tonight?
You know I've been getting them scores spot on.
Have you?
How many points I tell you the Blazers were going to score last night?
I don't remember.
111.
He's feeling good.
111.
Really?
Yep. 115 to 109. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee?
Milwaukee is the better team. Toronto is too inconsistent. I like the Bucks at home, 2-0.
Wait a second. Toronto's got the best two-way player on the planet.
It's
They
a
got
team.
the Magic Man.
Yeah, this ain't golf.
Really?
Yeah, head to head.
Well, you should have. They could win one game, right?
Yeah, they might.
Really?
They might. They're not going to win this
You
one.
think they're going to get swept?
No, I do not.
Well, I think number 2 will come up short again at Milwaukee, and they're 6.5-point underdog, and I think they're going to lose 112-105 because Giannis is just a better player, and he makes his teammates better than number 2 can make his.
None of what you said is true.
Yeah. Or hurt by having Seth
Skip,
as an older brother.
I really think it's been a combo. I think he might have gotten the look because if his last name was Williams at 6 foot tall, I don't really know how much of a look he's going to get. I don't know. But when you look at it, it's like, okay, his dad played in the NBA. His brother played in the NBA. There's got to be some genes in there somewhere. I mean, he got to be able to shoot halfway decent, Skip, even though he's a little on the smallest side.
Yep.
But it's been a curse because, like I said, the comparisons start. Yeah, he can do, but he ain't Steph. Yeah, he can do, but he's not Steph. So, and if Steph was just, okay, a good player, no problem. But Steph is an all-time great.
Yep.
He's a 2-time league MVP. He has 3 rings. He's won an MVP unanimously. So that's the comparisons. I think the thing for having gone through this myself is that I always embraced that I had an older brother that was good. And he never, living in this shadow, I got that all my life, Skip. You're not as good as your brother. You can't run as fast as your brother. You can't do that like Sterling. Okay, fine.
You still get called Sterling, right?
Everybody called me that. Hey, Sterling.
Yeah.
I say you're loud and wrong. But so I can understand. But Seth I think he's embraced it. I don't think he's like, man, I'm never gonna be able to be my big brother. I'm never gonna be able to grow up out of his shadow, because he's not. Never. At least, Skip, my brother was a better football player than I was, but it wasn't like he was head and shoulders. It wasn't like,
no.
He was Walter Payton and I'm Eddie Payton. It wasn't a situation like that, but he was a better player than I was. We both went to a number of Pro Bowls, made All-Pro a bunch of times. But when you got the gap, like what Steph and Seth is,
yep.
that's a difference. But for them to be able to do this and to have their parents there, because I know what my mom, the nervousness that she felt when me and my brother played against each other, although our teams were playing against each other.
Yep.
I think it's been a blessing and a curse.
So let's talk about the blessing first. Let's speak real about this. If his last name had been Williams, he would have been long gone from this league long time ago. I'm not sure he would have made it past what happened the first go-round, which was his brother's team signed him out of Duke and then waived him.
Right.
I'm not sure he could have survived that. Then he would have had to go, God knows where.
Overseas.
To Europe, China, somewhere, and maybe he'd hung on for a couple of years, and that would have been the end of that. But he kept getting chance after chance after chance, in part because he played at Duke. I'm going to give him that, because he averaged 18 a game and shot 44% from the three-point line. That last, he was 3 years at Duke, started at Liberty. But then he starts bouncing. He does 2, now we call it G League, but D League stints, right? Santa Cruz and Erie, PA. Hard duty, right? And then he bounces 6 times through the NBA. 6 teams. This is number 6. Said 5 said no to him.
Right.
Okay? And there's no way he could last this long if he didn't have a 2-time MVP big brother and a father who was one of the greatest shooters who ever played this game.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So it helped him immensely until last night. And all of a sudden, last night, on the biggest stage on the Western Conference side in the game, he had to stand on his own 2 feet. Right? It didn't help him a bit.
Nope.
Then he felt confident because he'd played in the backyard and played growing up with his big brother. But in the end, he has to say, now it's my turn to show that even though I got Curry blood running through me, I got to show you I can do this by myself.
Yeah, and he has to, Skip, because I got that a lot. Well, the only reason you got here is because of your brother. I said, okay, maybe people looked at him and says, man, he's a supreme athlete. Maybe his brother can do this. But at the end of the day, Sterling Sharp can't catch any passes for the Broncos.
No.
He couldn't catch any passes for Savannah State. Steph Curry can't make one shot that's going to help the Portland Trailblazers for Seth.
No.
So getting there, okay, you get the opportunity. It's just like with anything. I fall on my knees every night and pray that Skip Bayless gave me an opportunity, Jen. But at the end of the day, I had to show Skip I could do it. Skip had enough confidence in me. He fought for me because I was the first athlete to do this full time. Yeah, they come in and do segments. Normally, they're journalists. Everybody's a journalist. Skip's a journalist, pairing with another journalist because they covered all the sport.
Sure.
Yeah, Shannon can talk about football, but can he talk about something other than football? So I had to show Skip I could do it. So Skip got my foot in the door.
That's interesting.
But at the end of the day, Skip couldn't make an argument for me if I couldn't do the job why I should stay.
Yeah.
Steph can't make an argument. Dale can't make an argument for Seth if he can't play. So it was a blessing and a curse. But now the blessing is he's got that opportunity. What are you going to do with it?
The curse last night was his 2 backcourt mates couldn't get him home.
Yeah.
After he made 3 shots in the fourth quarter. But let's look at your situation. When you get drafted in the 7th round and you go to Denver and that camp is packed, I don't know how many free agents were there, 100 or whatever.
Well, back then they had cut it down. It was, I think we took 80 to camp, 80 or 90, something like that.
So it's hard.
Yes.
You have to rise above this quickly.
Yes.
And you're going to have to do something in early camp practices to say, hey.
What, you hear the whispers. That's Sterling Sharp's little brother.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah?
Okay, so you did have, to me, a decided advantage. You're going to have to capitalize on it. But you had that advantage.
Yes.
That's Sterling's. Okay?
Well, Dan
they're
Reed
going to
said
give
it.
you a little longer look as a 7th rounder, where some 7th rounders, they'll look at him for 2 weeks of camp and they're like,
Well, Dan said it. Dan said, look, we had scouted his brother. We saw what his brother had done, and there has to be something in there. He said when we looked at him, he's like, okay, yeah, he's raw. He put up big numbers, but who did he do it against?
Okay. Now, your mindset. You set foot for the first time on a training camp field for the Denver Broncos. In your heart of hearts, back of your mind, you're thinking, my brother does this.
Yes.
I know my brother.
Yes.
I grew up with my brother. If he can do what he's doing, I can do this.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids don't step on the field with that kind of deep confidence.
Right.
It's like a blood confidence.
For me, Skip, every number, like in high school, whatever number he had, I got.
Okay.
He was number 3, I got number 3. He went to college and got number 2, I wore number 2.
Okay.
So I was not running away from who and what he was, because I was fully aware.
And he didn't run away from you either.
No, man, Skip, we would go to the state track meet. The state track meet would fall in May. My brother would leave the University of South Carolina and come and says, okay, what are we going to do today?
Yep.
Okay, this is what I think we should do. And I'm a 3-time state champ. And as you mentioned, yes, Skip, I went to Class 8. But in 1986, I was the best triple jumper in the state of Georgia.
Really?
Regardless of classification.
There were 3 people at the
No.
Okay.
No, and you know what? 30 years, and 30 years plus, I still got that record.
No way.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna get that.
All right. I'm going to have to see some proof
Who
someday
knew?
about this. We got to move on. Will number 2 lead the Raptors to an upset win tonight?